Welcome back, pals and gals, to a new episode of PhoenixCast. Today, I'm once again joined by the one and only
El Nuno. El Grazio.
Don't you mean El Nino?
That is a footballer.
What is?
El Nino.
Is it?
It's a nickname for a footballer.
Nino is literally Spanish for boy.
Yeah, the
So
boy.
God of War. Boy. Nino.
But we're not here to talk about God of War.
We are not. Today we are here to talk about Final Fantasy 15.
And boy, do I have a lot to say.
So I think we all know that game underperformed a little bit. So we're going to compare its features and all its little trinkets to previous entries in the series and kind of compare it and see where it went wrong and why. I think.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yeah. I have plenty to say about this game.
Oh yes, Ryan is very opinionated when it comes to Final Fantasy 15.
Oh my god, you have no idea. So
I'm going to start him off. I'm going to say one thing, right? One thing. Friendly match.
What?
Ignis.
Fuck off.
Yeah, there we go.
No,
right.
just fuck off.
Let's begin.
That was a DLC for anyone who was interested.
Episode Ignis.
We're already labelling another thing I fucking hate about this game as a
What DLC?
just the service that they tried to add for story. So if you got spoiler warning ahead for Final Fantasy 15, if none of you have played it, there's a complete edition. It's
if you
30 quid.
I hear the game is a lot more at the point it should have been on launch. So if you haven't played it, I suppose picking up Royal Edition wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It's quite cheap for what you get.
No, but what I will say is this: fuck Square Enix for this game, because my god, I am pissed. So
I'm gonna say I feel like I have a big right to be annoyed, considering I bought the Ultimate Collector's Edition.
And you didn't get everything? What?
And
oh my god!
The worst part is it was £200 or 180. I can't quite remember. I
I mean,
mean,
it was 200.
yeah, okay, you get the Play Arts Kai Noctis, which
You have
is
to
nice.
remember you bought the guide as well.
Yeah, and I bought the Collector's Edition guide and the Collector's Edition soundtrack, which was another £80.
That came out later though, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
But it doesn't come with the season pass, and they already decided at this point 4 of the story's episodes were going to be DLC. So you're paying this much money for. Remember in the title of this edition, Ultimate Collector's Edition. So Ultimate usually means the best. You get everything you need. Alas, Square disagree.
Yep. It did not come with a season pass. I did not get this edition. I got the steel book, and only recently did I buy the collector's guide, purely because it seemed to be a rarity, but it was like tenner in my local game store.
It did get quite rare. It started being about £30 to £40 online.
Yeah, so it was a tenner in my game store. I thought, why not just pick that up?
Yeah.
I don't even know where to begin with this game.
Okay, let's begin with. Let's just go way back to, I believe, 2006.
Versus 13.
Final Fantasy versus 13. A game based on reality.
Ooh.
Yes. So we have Prince Noctis Lucis Calum, who is the Prince of Insomnia. So we all know this. He's already. Oh, that's great. Fucking special. He's, for some unknown reason, I know they've changed the story since that point, but he has the armature while in Insomnia fighting guards.
Yeah.
So this is completely different to the story of what it is now.
Okay, yeah.
And there's also a different heroine. So we don't have Luna Freya. We have a heroine called Stella. And
yeah.
she's still just another blonde person. Like, they didn't really flesh her character out too much, apart from there's a scene where you're in a high-rise building with glass windows, and you're just like in a suit talking to her.
Yeah, well.
So originally the story was going to be that she is some high-up person in the Empire,
Yeah.
whereas Noctis is the prince, and you're star-crossed lovers from either side of the war, and you can't be together, but you want to be together.
I want to say they did partially put that into 15. With
They sort
Luna.
of did have Luna,
But she
Freya.
was a fucking oracle. It wasn't even like...
Yeah, she was an oracle. She was meant to love everyone regardless. That's kind of a role.
Yeah.
But she was kind of being controlled by the Empire at the same time.
Wasn't her older brother was a knight?
Yeah,
for
but
them.
he was dragging her around to kind of go with it, weren't he?
Yeah.
Can't even remember. He's fucking Ravus, that's it.
He hated the king because didn't he like abandon them or something? I can't remember this cutscene.
No, Luna, because... Okay. Problem number one with Final Fantasy 15. So after the rebrand, you don't fully understand the first 1 to 3 or 4 chapters if you don't watch a CG movie beforehand.
Yeah, Kingsglaive.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 15 Kingsglaive.
And I dare say, you won't feel anything for these characters unless you watch the anime. Because the anime, I felt like, oh yeah, it's alright.
Yes and no.
This made me actually care about these characters.
I feel you do know the characters, you will get character building in the game. But one problem I found was there were certain scenes, if you went to campsites, which made 0 sense if you didn't watch the anime. Like, specifically, there's a scene where Prompto, if you rest, I think it's a story campsite, so you have to rest there and get this cutscene.
Yeah.
Prompto will be out on his own, moping.
Yeah.
And Noctis goes up to him and he's all like, what's wrong? And then he's like, oh, I'm not good enough to be with you, and I'm not good enough to be your friend, and all this stuff. And he's referring back to when he used to be overweight and view himself as not good enough to be with Noctis, and he still feels the same way. Because he had a poorer upbringing than Noctis, Gladio, and Ignis.
I'm already beating my head with a drum because I've just remembered the backstory of... say his name again for me, please.
Prompto?
Thank you. Prompto. Is it Prompto, and I did say this beforehand, there will be spoilers, is a fucking android that they just decide to throw in there randomly in chapter like 12 or some bullshit.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
He leaves the party because he gets kicked off a train. No, because he dodges a sword strike from Noctis on a train.
Yeah, basically Arden's in Noctis's head and makes him think that Prompto's Arden.
Yeah.
So he tries to attack Arden, it turns out it's Prompto, knocks him off a train.
Then thus begins episode Ignis, where he finds out he's a fucking android.
Episode Prompto.
Sorry. Episode Prompto. And
Prompto the entire time thinks Noctis attacked him because he's not as good as the other people and he's having issues.
I may get some things mixed up because this game just... It sparks something in me that I haven't felt for a game ever. I don't want to say I've ever been this disappointed with a game. Can you think of a time where either of us was like seriously this disappointed?
Do you know what? I wasn't disappointed with 15 till the end. I actually really enjoyed my first playthrough.
Yeah,
it was the ending.
We definitely disagree on that.
Completely killed it for me.
We definitely disagree on that.
Yeah. I wasn't disappointed with 15 until I played the end, but I'd already heard from a couple of friends who'd already beat it, saying you're not going to like the ending.
No.
And not many people did like the fact they killed off the main character and acted like everyone knew it was going to happen from the start. By everyone, I mean his dad and Luna Freya.
Yeah, so the people who's meant to be closest to him knew he was going to die
and just didn't tell him.
Just never told him. He had to go on this, like, I'm not going to call it a pilgrimage because the best Final Fantasy game had the world pilgrimage in it, and I don't want it associated with what he did. So they went on a road trip.
Well, it is literally... If you want to play a game where you're on a cool little road trip with your bros, Final Fantasy 15 is the game for you.
Oh, no, like, don't worry, guys. We'll add in the other soundtracks because, you know, remind you of actual good games. Oh.
Yeah, pretty much. You have to drive around quite a lot, hence the road trip. So they give you a radio station where you can purchase songs for all the other soundtracks, basically.
Yeah. Now, I actually did post on Instagram because I did, for some reason at the start of playing 15, enjoy it for what it was. But I expected more. Like, okay, so if anyone doesn't know, the battle system is
hold circle.
Hold circle. You hold circle, you fight them. I was like, okay, that's fine for beginners. I want a little bit more. Maybe like and I dare say this, a Devil May Cry system where you can hold like left.
Well, you can tap it.
Tap it twice to do something else, but then tap. Wait a sec. Tap again to do, like, let's say Noctis hits it with its sword and then he does like a warp and he lands down on it.
Yeah,
like,
that's cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the abilities you unlock in the game are either
they're all complementary. They don't actually add anything.
They make the armature go a bit quicker. They make the armature do a bit more power.
They make your own people.
They do add combos, but they're combos like where you're mid-air and it's like you can dodge to the left now if you want.
Yeah. There's nothing real big. You've got things like, your teammates will help themselves up once with a certain amount of HP. And then there's just extra things to level that up. So they'll restore with half HP, then full HP. And then you've got extra accessory slots. and then it's pretty much just powering up your moves that you've already got, like Armature. You can get a bit of health drain, I think, but there's no real like new combat elements you can get from leveling up.
And now I remember you told me the reason as to why this was a thing, like a hold circle. Isn't it to do with the developer? He said,
yeah, after the game moved away from Tetsuya Nomura.
Big fucking mistake.
But man, why can't I think
of the name?
Is it Hajime Tabata?
No good asking me.
I'm sure it was. I don't know.
Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen.
So Hajime, anyway, he said that he felt, at least this is what I read, so don't quote me on it, but
yeah, go for
he
it.
said he felt too, I can't think of the word, like cumbersome.
Over encumbered.
It felt too cumbersome to press buttons multiple times.
Yeah, he basically made the game designed for people like him.
Yeah, he was like, I just want to hold circle and see cool stuff happen.
Yeah, okay. I'll watch a fucking movie.
I heard he did also change a lot of the story. It was going to be quite different. I mean, we already know there was a lot of scenes changed. In fact, I think it was the rebrand trailer from Versus 13 into Final Fantasy 15. It's like, are you ready for the 15th coming?
I was going to mention that in a minute, but yeah.
Yeah, and that I have to admit was probably one of the best moments of the marketing for that game.
All right, so I'll say how I
said it, and then it just smashed onto the screen.
That
and I was
E3,
like, oh.
that E3 gave us two things.
Yeah,
it gave us that trailer, right? That trailer was fucking amazing. It showed off everything it needed to. It showed that there was progression.
This is what I was talking about. That entire scene, because you're in Insomnia in this cutscene.
Yeah, no, with
in
the
daytime,
Leviathan, yeah.
You go up into the air. You can go through windows, run through the corridors in the building. None of that is in the game.
None of it's in the game.
None of Insomnia is in the game until the last chapter.
You can warp to ships as well. And like
you can actually do that in the game.
Yeah, I know, but it's not the way they make it look. It makes it look fluid. Like it makes it look like you don't have to look up, see it, and then it says hold triangle. It looks like you can just look up, be like, okay, want to go over there? I'm going over there. It's not hard to do. Like for this day and age of technology, the one thing that that trailer gave me was a sense of like, so to put this perspective, I didn't know much about Versus 13 for years. I not intentionally, I didn't have the internet for a very long time. I was away from all this gaming news. I didn't know about the whole delay for Versus 13. I didn't know it was a thing to like we were waiting for until about a year before it was shown off and changed to 15. Yeah. So when that trailer comes on and we're going through all this shit, it's clearly Noctis, it's clearly Gladio, it's clearly Prompto and Ignis. I was like, wow, this is fucking amazing. It looks great.
Oh yeah,
the menu looks great. It looks slick. The way the combat is going, obviously it's all like pre-rendered, blah blah blah, but this is test. It should go up from here, not fucking down.
That's the problem. This is when I believe it was still Tetsuya Nomura in charge, and that guy knows how to make a game.
Exactly. And then
I mean, look at Kingdom Hearts' battle. Like, okay, it's still pretty much just spam X.
Yeah.
But we know that it's really upgradable. So when you level up, you get abilities which completely change what you're doing. Like, so you can add combos in, you can change moves. You can even add it so if you tap square at certain points in your combo, it changes what you're doing.
Let me make this clear to everyone. So Kingdom Hearts is basic combat, right? Because people will say, oh, well, with Kingdom Hearts 2, you just have to press triangle. Not true. Not true.
No.
Are you going to go fight Zelda and just press triangle?
They made it in Kingdom Hearts so that reaction commands complement the battle.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not a thing. They're not like Birth by Sleep shot locks where it just decimates everything.
Yeah,
it just makes it flashy, fun, and interesting, and it gives you another angle to play from. That's all reaction commands.
But 15 is hold circle and you win.
Yeah. The only times where it's not like that is pretty much like Iron Giants, big bosses, and at that point you just need to spam square until they swing and then hold circle anyway.
Yeah, or just warp away and warp back out.
Or, you know, craft magic, which right from the beginning of the game you can craft spells that just one-shot everything in the area.
Yeah.
And then, so you can craft magic like that, which completely ruins it, because why try? The game doesn't reward you for stylish play to even give you an incentive to try and work out different ways to battle.
No.
It rewards you for playing badly. So you will...
Isn't it like at the end of battle it'll be like combat?
Yeah, it gives you a grade,
that,
which slightly boosts your XP, very slightly.
Yeah.
But No, I mean, you die, go down to 0 health, so it's not dying. In this game, your health goes to 0, then you've got like a second health bar where you can't attack, but that's your max HP going down.
Yeah.
So you need to use a potion to kind of get your health back up past 0 to continue the battle and not lose too much HP. If your HP goes below 0, you get the random option that you can't even choose to summon and murder everything. They literally reward you for being shit at the game.
The summons in this game are another reason I would put this on a list where I would actually put in the top 10 worst games of this console generation.
Oh yeah.
I would actually put that in my list. It can be controversial to some, probably not to others. For me, I don't want to say it is, but obviously recently No Man's Sky got an update. No Man's Sky Next, I think it's called, the update. Yeah. Not going to say I even played the original. I thought the game looked good when it came out. I was going to wait. Just realised that there were quite a few bit of lies in there that were told.
It was definitely not the game it was hyped up to be.
Exactly. So I left it alone. Watch as they updated it over 2 years, and now it's like one of the best games out there for like exploration.
Yeah, people are saying it has made one of the biggest comeback stories of gaming.
Exactly. Oh god, I completely lost my point.
I'm presuming your point would have been that 15 feels like it's tried to do that and failed miserably.
Yeah.
Like over time, it feels like they keep adding things in and trying to change a bit of it. Like especially with Royal Edition. And like they even changed the ending of the game because it pissed people off so much.
And even that ending was just not even canon, I don't think.
Oh really?
I think that's a side thing. It's just not.
I wouldn't put it past them saying, "Oh, Noctis lives in this ending," and boom, 15-2.
Oh, don't even.
I really hope they don't. I mean, if they make a 15-2, I will riot at Square Enix and demand a 10-3.
I was about to say you should be giving us a 10-3, not fucking 15-2. So what I was going to say was summons are just so fucking. They never updated the game as well. I guess this is where I was going with No Man's Sky. They could update the game at any point. I know updates can only take you so far, but what is wrong with me being able to summon Shiva?
Just lower the power of
lower
summons.
the power of them and summon them and let me use them. Like 12, I don't like the way 12 did Espers, but it's a way it could have worked in 15. You summon them and they fight alongside you.
Do they take over your other characters?
Let's say you're Ash. Yeah, your two characters
just
go.
Be Ash and that person.
And then it'll be like Belial or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Sorry, did I just
Belias.
I got it mixed with Devil May Cry, didn't I? Belial.
One of them's Belial, one's Belias. I can't remember which.
I think it's Belias. So they could have done it like that, and I've seen mods look good. I've seen in loads of games. So don't fucking tell me a company like Square Enix,
as big as Square,
who are constantly updating this game. They're not like sitting there doing nothing with it. It's like
they've just given a year 2 production plan on it.
Exactly. So. And you're going to tell me they can't add these little tweaks to the game life. I guess what I'm trying to say is,
if they want to keep this easy battle system for people who are really casual, just add a new difficulty in and just change the battle system for that new difficulty for people who want more of a challenge, a better game experience, a more balanced game experience that's not just you wrecking on everything. It's not that difficult, Square.
They even tried to add in the nighttime thing, didn't they?
So more powerful enemies.
More powerful enemies appear. No incentive to fight them. No. A little bit more XP.
They don't give you enough XP for the amount of level increase there is.
No, exactly. Another thing I will say is this. I don't give a fuck that Noctis likes fishing. When a game has fishing as a mini game...
Yeah, but Monsters of the Deep.
In case, ladies and gentlemen, you didn't know, I literally just stared at him blankly because I just cannot believe that they were like, here's a VR. Oh, we're going to show off a Prompto VR.
Yeah.
But here's a VR where you can fish.
Before the game even released, they shown off that you'd be able to play through part of 15. I don't know if it was all of it, but you could definitely play through part of 15.
If it was a 90-minute demo, it would have
been
fine.
The Behemoth is what they shown off. And you could first person play as Prompto with his gun and go around shooting shit.
Yep.
And then they said, oh yeah, we're not going to do that. And then they made a VR fishing game.
Reminds me of a bit of what they did with FF7. I'm thinking back to an E3 where they showed off PS3 looking graphics.
2007. 7.
I don't remember
I
when
think
it
it
was.
was 7.
But they showed off
yeah,
a really nice looking
PlayStation
FF7.
3 tech demo for the opening of Final Fantasy 7 hyped everyone up. The reception for it was intense.
Yeah.
And then they were like, we could do this, but we're not gonna.
No, I remember reading a fact that was like, they felt that if they ever did this, no one would ever come back.
Yeah, they said this would be the end of our Final Fantasy series.
No, I heard someone say it would be the end of Square, which I think was over the top at the time.
I don't think they owned as many properties as they do now. When they said that,
That's true.
Since then they've acquired Hitman,
Tomb Raider.
Yeah. Well, then they've got all like the Square Enix collective.
Speaking of which,
so I am Setsuna.
I feel like I don't want this to turn into a shitpost on Square, but I will say this quickly. I do love Square Enix, but when your reboot of Tomb Raider gets over, was it 1 million sales?
Oh, they complained it didn't do
within
well
like
enough,
a week or a month or something like that.
Yeah.
That is good because it's a reboot of a game people loved.
Oh yeah.
So when you're rebooting it and it gets over 1 million sales, and then you can be like, okay, we'll make the sequel and get more sales. That's good. Okay.
Yep.
Let's make that clear. Now, I'm sure someone in the industry knows a lot more than me.
I feel like they were correct to discontinue their Go games.
The Go games were, lack for a better word, a cash grab in a way. I'd say. I don't know. Actually, were they?
They didn't look like there was a. I don't know a lot about developing mobile games, but I don't. As far as mobile games go, they didn't seem like it took too much work to make.
Right. So it's definitely a quick make and then just off you pop. I have heard about
attaching the Tomb Raider and Hitman
name
to it to take it somewhere.
We'll go back to attaching a name to something that shouldn't have it in the first place. I could say the same about Breath of the Wild.
So okay, story wise, but wait, what?
Sorry,
what have we covered?
Can I just quickly say that? Oh my god, I've completely forgotten. Why have I forgotten? Square. I do love Square, and I do love what they're doing, but 15's a fucking joke.
Okay, so what have we covered on 15 so far?
We've covered some gameplay elements.
So, like I said, I want to compare to previous Final Fantasies. So, what have other Final Fantasies done that 15 could learn from?
Bigger isn't always better.
Okay, I agree with that.
Because when the game first released, I'm going to go into graphics now. Oh, what I will say quickly as well, I was going to say is someone in the industry knows a lot more than me. And they will tell me maybe 1 million sales for a Tomb Raider game isn't bad. To me, as an outsider, that is good. I don't know if that if they turn a profit.
It's not always about profit. They also have to please their investors, otherwise their shares will fall, and that really screws the company.
I do. No,
so
don't get me wrong. I do get it.
It's not like it could still make them enough money for their investors to be happy, but before they make a game, they have to do a forecast, so projected sales, what they think it's going to make, and if they fall short of that, investors get pissed whether it did well or not.
I do get that.
So they could have said,
we'll
sell 2 million in a week. They sell 1 million. Great, they made profit and it did well, but the investors are pissed. Their shares fall.
I guess I'm looking at it as more of like a gaming community perspective, not a gaming industry perspective. Which, sue me, but don't please. I'm broke. Okay, so you wanted to compare?
Yeah, so I think the most realistic game to compare it to would be 12, because that's the first game.
We can't compare it to 14 because 14 is an MMO
and it's its own beast.
It's its own beast. 13 was a very linear game with some story elements that just didn't quite make sense. If I had to sum it down,
I suppose so.
If I had to sum it down to like a nail, that would be arguably what I'd say. Oh, with a main character who's as bland as a fucking white wall.
Thing is, as far as 15 goes with characters, I actually really like all 4 of the main characters. I think they all bring something in their own way. I think Noctis is a great character. But another problem with the entirety of its story, Noctis and Ignis, in fact, all 4 of their relationship together is only meaningful or anything towards how I feel to it. I don't know if that sentence made sense, but I only care about their relationship together because of the anime. If I hadn't watched the anime, I wouldn't give a fuck.
I did. Well, I want to point out then that when I first played 15, I didn't even watch Kingsglaive.
I watched both of them twice before the game came out.
Consider me like I don't want to say old-fashioned. I just didn't feel like it's like saying to someone, "Oh, to understand 7, you'd have to watch Advent Children." Like, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, but then at the same time, we have the argument of don't play Kingdom Hearts 3 unless.
That's completely different.
Yes,
watching
and no.
a movie and
No,
playing
yeah,
a game.
but
if you want me to watch a movie, make me watch a movie, but don't be like, watch this movie to understand the story. Then the only way you got that movie, by the way, is if you bought the My Steelbook edition. And the only way you got the anime and the movie along with the game was your Ultimate edition, which was
the anime only came out with the Ultimate.
Was ridiculous.
Did Brotherhood ever come out on Blu-ray?
It might have done
Kingsglaive did.
Kingsglaive did. I don't know about.
You could also you didn't have to buy the game to get Kingsglaive. I think a few weeks, maybe a couple of months before the game came out, it did go to, I believe, Amazon.
Did it?
You could buy it digitally through a couple of places.
But I don't remember someone coming up to me and go, like, not someone coming up to me, but I never saw a press conference from Square or anything saying, to understand 15, you need to watch Kingsglaive.
They did say that it expanded the story, but that's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing as saying, oh, this would literally make sense, because the story of Kingsglaive takes place when Noctis and that are in the hotel room after like chapter 1 or 2. And then you get like a little cutscene where it's like flashing all these CGIs. You see the king dead, essentially. And then we got more in Kingsglaive, obviously. But I was like, hold on, I wanted to watch that. What the fuck?
And it's like, oh, well, then you should have watched the movie.
I'll tell you what then. If a message came up, said, these cutscenes were in Kingsglaive, watch it to understand.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even care then. Like, you know what I mean? I wished...
Well, another thing that if you don't watch Kingsglaive, you don't know why Ravus has a metal arm.
Oh yeah, you don't.
You don't know that he tried to wear the Ring of Lucis.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a pretty massive plot point, that he thought he would have been the chosen one to wear the Ring of Kings, and he couldn't wear it.
I don't know.
No, it's called Ring of the Lucy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lucii. Is that what they say?
Lucii, I think it was, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like I'm bitching about it too much. I just don't feel...
At the end, we'll talk about what we liked. Ryan's list might be short, but I have a few things to say. But okay, so comparing it to past titles, I think one of the things 15 got wrong compared to others was a big world. And
what I said earlier.
Yeah. The only places where there's anything to do is the settlements. In the open world, the road between where you're just road tripping, listening to old Final Fantasy music. Yeah. Reminiscent of better times. You'll maybe find a guy on the side of the road you can give a car repair kit to get 500 XP.
Another thing that pissed me off.
Don't see the point.
Hey, can I take a picture?
Yeah, constant photo ops. It tries to give you the allure of it tries to give you the feeling you're doing something when you're really not.
No, you're
because you think, oh, this quest has just come up, I don't want to miss a quest. You go do the photo op. 10 minutes later, driving down the road. Hey, Narc, can we get a picture of this?
The quests
Pronto. Shut up.
So, okay then, another thing that it did wrong compared to, like, say...
Oh, that's
Final
the thing.
Fantasy 9.
I didn't even compare. So then you've got Final Fantasy 9, which is the example I was going to use. Open world, right. You've got enemies you can try and find for Kina to eat to get blue magic. Yeah. You've got, Kina with optional character you can find in the open world.
Golden frogs.
You have optional areas to find with more story, so Quan's dwelling, etc., etc. Yeah. You've got Chocobo Hot and Cold. Yeah. So you've got the forest, which is a completely optional area in the game anyway. But then you can find chocographs, which then give you something to do in the open world to dig up treasure, which can give you powerful gear for the point of the game you're at and give you that like extra boost for putting the time into this side quest. You can find new chocobos. So like you dig it up and it's not a new chocobo, but it levels up.
Recolors them.
Yeah,
so
recolors them so they get new
things.
abilities. You can go into rivers, then you can go into seas, then you can go over mountains, and then eventually you can fly.
And then all of this is to get Ultima Weapon for Zidane?
You only need the mountain one to get Ultima Weapon.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, because it's in the middle of a crack.
But the point of it is, it's a side quest that leads to something that is worth doing.
Yeah. Whereas 15, they're all pointless quest lines. You don't ever need to do any of them for any reason.
I believe I described them to you as they are fetch quests from an MMO game.
Yeah, basically.
There's this one guy, and he's in that port town. I can't remember his name.
You on about Dave?
The one that tells you
Dog tags.
No, not that one.
Oh,
The one that tells you to go to mines and pick up like jewels.
oh, Dino.
Yeah, that guy.
So you got Dino, yeah, he's in the port town of Golden Key. And
Glad you remember the names. I couldn't fucking tell you any of them.
it wasn't that long ago we were playing through it, trying to get the platinum again.
True.
Reason we stopped is because of a stupidly hard trophy in episode Ignis.
They won't patch. They won't update.
Yeah, getting into the high score is just insane.
Yep.
But anyway, I digress. So Dino, yeah, as Ryan said, it's a fetch quest. It's, oh, I need this gem, go get it, and I'll give you some. And then you've got, yet again, Dave, side quests. He's go get these dog tags and then return them to me. Then you've got a woman, go collect these different coloured frogs and return them to me. So where's the variety and where is the feeling that you're doing something new and exciting?
And then every time the group would just make a weird like joke about the character, like she's a bit froggy, and they're like,
yeah, but to be honest, I think that's the only upside to any of the side quests.
But it's all the same fucking response. Like, Gladio will just say the same thing. He will just replace one word with another, and it would be the same thing. And then Noctis would be like, yeah. It's like, oh great, thanks King Noctis.
That is one thing I like about Noctis's character development, is the fact that he does open up more by the end of the game. Like, he's a lot more friendly. He seems more moody, and well, admittedly, his dad just died.
He opened up the moment he did the 10-year time skip, and then even then,
at which point
we
what
had
even
him.
happened? I thought he was just basically asleep in a fucking.
Yeah,
mosque.
he was asleep with Bahamut for 10 years.
It's weird, man.
And that was it. He came back. He was all like, "Yep, I know what to do now." Dies.
Yeah.
Great, good for you, man.
Just that ending was terrible, but yeah. So that's the difference in the only good thing, which is something it took out of FF12's book. Hunts. That's the only interesting part of the game, and that only gets interesting towards the end, where they actually start to become challenging. At the beginning, it's just, oh, kill a few wolves. Oh, well, that's fucking easy. It's just another fetch
You don't
quest.
even have to do a single hunt. I don't think you do to get the Adamantoise.
No, you just have to get far. No, you do, because you have to build up the amount of stars before you can accept it. So you have to do hunts to level up your hunt rank.
Oh well, I ain't never doing that. But yeah.
Well, yeah. To be fair, if I did that, I'd have the platinum.
I would agree with you with the hunts if I actually thought the world looked nice. But this is where I have a problem.
I still think the game looks great, personally. I mean,
where do I begin with how I feel about this world? Let's start with, it's too big. Bigger does not mean better. You are pushing the PlayStation 4 to the point that when we are running, things are loading in front of me. They are grainy. They are horrible. I saw someone the other day saying this is the most beautiful game I've ever seen. I played Horizon Zero Dawn the other month, and my god, that was fucking beautiful.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That game is open world. It is massive, and you're going to tell me...
Well, I've heard people saying that Nier Automata as well, graphically.
Oh yeah, that game was amazing.
I mean, Nier Automata did have beautiful graphics, but I don't think it's fair to compare that to 15, because they have very different styles. Horizon is a better comparison, because they're both kind of going for the realism look.
If you look at Noctis's hair, compare it to Aloy's.
Yeah. But that's the thing, that was fixed in Windows Edition. But at the same time, the amount of money you have to pay to get that on ultra specs it's just insane.
I don't even want to...
I mean, I paid... my laptop was on offer. I know it's a laptop, okay, just shoot me. I know you shouldn't try and play ultra on a big game on a laptop, but offer, my laptop I think was about £850, and it killed itself for about 40 minutes when I tried to play that on ultra. So how much would you have to spend to run it smoothly? Probably, for long periods of play?
Probably quite a bit.
Yeah.
I will admit, when I saw the trailer for 15 on Windows, beautiful, looked really nice, exactly what I thought 15 would look like. You only had to condense that world down. If you condense that open world down, you're saving yourself some time.
That's the annoying thing. The one part of the world that I thought they should open up that would have been interesting, they never did. Insomnia. An entire city of buildings, interesting looking places, and things that they could have put in there to do, just unused.
Oh, did you like also how every single NPC looked the same?
Yeah, that was a problem.
I was running through it with my girlfriend actually. Okay, so by about chapter 7, I started to realise that this game was just not at all what they cracked it up to be. It was not. It wasn't the great Final Fantasy they made it out to be.
As I say, this isn't to fault the team. This isn't a problem for the team that worked on it, I think it was Tabata. I honestly believe he tried too late to pull it in his own direction.
Right.
And he shouldn't have done that. He should have just let Nomura get on with what he wanted to do, which was probably KH3 and 7 remake at the time.
Yeah.
And then followed on with his vision. Because you don't wait till the end of a game's life cycle of development.
Yeah.
Or end of its development cycle to suddenly change the direction it's taken. Because it's just going to be rushed. It's going to be bad.
And that's my problem. You can tell it's rushed. You can tell it's bad. Like, bad is a strong word. If I had to give this game out of 10, it'd be a 5.
Yeah.
Now, if that's good or bad, that's your opinion. I don't really care. To me, that is bang average. But if I was leaning towards a 4 or a 6, I'm leaning towards the 4. I'm not leaning towards the 6. In fact, the only reason I would lean towards the 6 now is because I've played episode Ignis, episode
Prompto and episode
Gladio. That is the only reason, but I don't feel like I should need those. That they should be in the game. You condense that all down, you put those episodes in.
Anything where it's like, oh, this is part of the story, they shouldn't make you pay for it. DLC should always be additional, extra stuff that you didn't know you needed until you get it. Yeah. So, like, I'm trying to think of an example. What have I played recently that has DLC?
I want to point out that these episodes, they are expanding the characters of in the game. So, Gladio, you fight, what's his name? Yojimbo? Is it Yojimbo?
I don't think it's actually Yojimbo you fight, is it? Is it?
Yeah, I think it is.
It's Gilgamesh.
Sorry, yes.
You
are correct.
You one of his swords. So you team up with Kor, which is one of the King's Guard.
Another character they tried to introduce and was in it for like a minute and was like, bye.
Yeah, he was in it at the beginning of the game, and then they bring him in and make him a way more interesting character in episode Gladiolus.
And then they bring him in again.
Just to get rid of him again.
But he's in it again in what's the multiplayer mode? Comrades. Yeah, he's in Comrades. And then he's in it again in when they updated the world to have Omega Weapon and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Where they just are like, oh, he's back now.
Well, didn't they put Luna in it as well?
Yeah, they did. Those cutscenes are quite cool, actually. I'll give them that much.
I haven't actually watched them. I was going to play
Luna is a character that pisses me off. This game pisses me off. Luna is just like, yeah, Noctis, I love you. You're going to die. I know we're never going to see each other again. But we did. But we didn't. You were kind of unconscious at the time. Oh, I just got stabbed by Arden. Bye now. I'm dead. Oh, great. I cared now. Then we have a whole chapter about Noctis getting over her death. And it's like, well, I'm not over it because I didn't even know her in the fucking first place.
Yeah, I think it's good and bad. They make Arden a good bad guy. Like, I think Arden is one of the better Final Fantasy villains.
Yeah.
But the problem is none of the other characters matter enough for the things he does to make him feel too evil.
Yeah.
So he's almost like a likable villain because he doesn't feel too evil.
Did, in the main story before the episodes, did they ever mention how he was immortal?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah, he mentions it in like chapter 11 or 12, I think.
Whatever.
Sure.
Just out of nowhere. Before we carry on, I just remember what I was saying. To do with the character models being the same, I was running through one of the towns, and I was just turning to my girlfriend, and I was like, "Hey, look, it's Jen. Oh, this is her sister, twin sister, Glenda. This is her other twin sister. This is her other twin." And I was doing that for at least 5 minutes, and I was like, "My fucking god, this is." I don't mind if you want to overpopulate it, fair enough, but at least give some diversity.
To be honest, that was really shamelessly done in I Am Setsuna, which I've been playing recently.
Yeah. Bit different, but I'll give you
I know. Plus, this is it was a bit more of a collective game, so I think this was like almost like a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
It's from a third-party company, so which is Tokyo RPG Factory. So shout out to them. It's a great game, but there's a point where you go and see a king of a town. And then I'm jumping way ahead. So there's a point where you leave the first town where you meet Setsuna.
Yeah.
And as you're leaving, everyone from the village is stood in like rows down the side, so you walk down the middle of them. 2 of the people on the end are identical, and then there's another identical one on the other side.
Oh, really?
And I was just like, wow, they only had to design 2 more characters and it would have been fine. But you know what? In that game, it doesn't really take away.
But then if we compare that to 15,
yeah, 15 had
this game
much higher production value, and it's just
wasn't it in development for like 10 years?
Yeah, I think it's one of the longest development times. It took an entire console generation to develop. It was announced for PS3, didn't come out. And let's face it, it's not that far from the end of the PS4 now, and it hasn't been out that long.
No. But this is what I mean.
It's been out like a year and a half, 2 years.
Graphically, it didn't even look like it pushed. It pushed the PS4, but it pushed it in the wrong way.
Yeah, it worked really hard to do not a lot.
Yeah, exactly. I recently was playing it. I was flying the car over the map.
Do you know? Actually, I've never got the Regalia Type F.
I got it by accident. I didn't even.
Don't you have to
know
get all the items in the last chapter, and then save your game, and then go back to Cindy?
I don't remember. There's no point asking me.
I'm pretty sure that's what you got to do. And I never got it.
I flew across the world, and
Yeah.
it was like loading chunks and chunks of the map.
Yeah, I feel like they were a bit
The
too
Regalia Type
ambitious.
F is a nice thing. It's a nice touch. It's like, you know, you can fly there. This is like the airship of the game. You don't fly the Regalia Type F. It flies itself.
Oh, really?
You can turn it a little bit. It's kind of like if you're driving on the road, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be a lot more like...
I like the Type D.
the
where you can
airship
just drive anywhere.
Yeah,
Did
exactly.
you try that yet?
No, I haven't done that one.
That's great. It's like a monster truck, and you can jump. It literally launches off the road.
Well,
Go over rocks and stuff.
I want the airship to be a lot like 7 and 9. You just zoom about the place.
Well, and 8.
You enjoy it. Yeah, and 8, sorry. What, Ragnarok was it?
Yeah.
You just enjoy your time. I didn't want it to be like fucking 10, where it was like... One of my complaints of 10 is that I couldn't fly around Spira. I know that would have pushed it a bit.
Yeah.
But
to be fair, 10 was quite graphically...
For its time, was amazing.
It was pretty good.
But this is what I mean. Final Fantasy has always been like...
But then 9 apparently really pushed the PS1.
For
Even
its
though it
art
was
style.
like proper pixely. But
For its art style, it would have, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to remember some of the worlds as well it had in it. Like, massive worlds.
Oh yeah, 9 was huge, but the good thing about it was full.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, another problem with 15 story. The lore isn't expanded on enough.
Yeah.
So I don't feel lived in that world. So in 9, I understand pretty much everything that's going on. I understand the lore and the wars between, like, Burmecia and fucking... Jesus Christ, who did they fight? Alexandria?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And, like, Limblum.
And
their war,
Clyro is their,
Alexandria.
like, safe haven. Like,
Yeah. So you kind of learn, like, where they branched off to, and then the way the queues live.
Yeah.
And just generally, like, all the different races of the game and how black mages are created and why, and then the other planet and how that works with this one. They explain it all properly.
Yeah.
And then you learn, like, the lore of each
obviously
place. Like, Clara has this special dance.
Yeah.
And then you've got the festival of the hunt in Limblum. It's like just learning the bits of culture about these different places.
Yeah. And then in 15, you go to one world. It's like one place. And it's like...
You go to a town, they're literally just like, let's find a place to rest. Oh my god, a bed. This is amazing.
Beats the ground.
And that's it.
What's the other one? It's like, that's it.
I've come up with a new recipe.
I'll taste this for you. It's like that. It's some of these, like, there's no quality of life, I think, is what I'm looking for. Like, there's no, like, gripping moment in that game.
Yeah.
9 obviously has the one fatal flaw, is that its final boss came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I've never got over that. The
I
ending's good,
guess
but
the story does lead to that in a way, because it does tackle death a lot. But then to turn around, it's like, oh, this is the physical embodiment of death. Beat it. So yeah,
pretty much.
All right, you're stretching it. Your music's nice, but you're stretching it.
I don't think it should have gone above Garland.
Right.
I feel like, because obviously Kuja was acting under orders of Garland.
Yeah.
It should have just been that. Really,
You
thing was...
think Garland should have been like the main boss?
Yeah, because obviously you beat Garland before Kuja, but...
I thought Kuja killed him. Like, I thought he rebelled against him and just got into trance.
No, you fight Garland and then Kuja comes in.
Yeah, doesn't he go into trance and just wipes everything
and that's
out?
when he first becomes Trans Kuja. He kills Garland, fucks you up, and then he flies back off to Gaia.
Yeah.
With the Invincible, so he takes over the Invincible ship.
Yeah.
Which, do you get that by the end? Because I know you have Hildegarde 3, and then you get
Yes, you do, yeah. But you get that on disc 4, and the problem is you can't go to other places because they're all
everywhere gets blocked
cut off, which is another problem I had with old Final Fantasy games. Obviously, I wanted to revisit these areas and
yeah.
But you take what you get when you're back on the PS1. But if we're going 3 generations ahead to the PS4, and I'm not knowing jack all about the story of 15, all I know is, now I'm doing a badass fight with Leviathan. Great.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I think we've shit on the story a lot here. Right, we get it. It's not fleshed out enough. It could have been better. It really could have been. I mean, a 10-year development cycle. I admit, over halfway through that, they scrapped everything and pretty much started from scratch, aside from characters and locations and all that. But so let's move on to leveling systems. So
you mean that there isn't one?
I'm not going to go with the traditional XP one, which I know you do have, and it does level you up.
Right.
But I mean the board. So let's face it, 10 kind of set a new precedent for...
What, with the sphere grid?
The sphere grid led to the license board in 12.
Yep.
Which led to the Crystarium in 13. Which led to this, the fucking... Isn't it the Crystarium again?
It's like a Crystarium board ability
I can't remember what they actually called it. The Ascension grid.
Yeah, something like that.
So, 10, we've explained this in our previous Final Fantasy video, which was you get spheres, you use sphere levels to move around like a game-like grid, and you use certain spheres, so power spheres for strength or HP.
Yeah.
Magic spheres for magic defense, magic or MP increase. And then you've got speed spheres for evasion, accuracy, and that's about it. And then you've got fortune spheres for luck, and then ability spheres for abilities.
Yeah.
So and then you put them down to activate it to add to your stats or gain new abilities. Move on to 12. The license board I think is slightly inferior to 10 sphere grid, just because I really like how free the sphere grid is.
Yeah.
But this is the second best system in my opinion. It's far better than 15s, far better than 13s. 13s is worse than 15s also, by far.
Yeah.
But so
not disagreeing.
In that you basically have to get a license to use an ability, magic, or weapon or armor. And then you get that license, you can equip it to build yourself up. You can also you can't increase your HP or anything, can you? But you can learn techniques. And
you can learn techniques,
attacks.
you can get mists, you can get summons for certain people.
But after beating it, it unlocks on the grid.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
So I'm talking about the international FF12, so like European. So it was everyone could go everywhere. So it was free, customizable, you could use who you wanted, a lot like 10. Whereas obviously now we've got the Zodiac Age, you have to pick 2 roles per character and it's a lot more limited. So I personally prefer the other one, but I understand this adds another level of challenge.
Yeah.
So it is good for that. And then they took inspiration from all these things, probably mostly from the sphere grid by the way it's set out. In 13 you've got the Crystarium, but it's completely linear, you have no choice. If anything, it's just to bulk up your game time. Considering you can't choose what you're leveling up, they might as well have just had level ups that give you them stats. You just select which one you've got equipped and it levels up the one you used in that battle. That would have been a better system, in my opinion.
Yep.
And then there's 15, which feels like it took a lot of inspiration from both the Crystarium and the sphere grid. So it's laid out like a sphere grid. It's more free like that. You can move anywhere you want. Unlike the Crystarium, which is specifically ability, HP, strength, nothing else. Or magic, actually, but nothing else. And then this, you get abilities, sort of, but there's nothing game-changing in it, which is 15's problem. It could have been so much better, which is what my biggest problem is. Anytime something could have been so much better in a simple manner, and they didn't do it. I feel like it's a wasted opportunity.
Wasn't there like abilities that were like, when you level up, you gain an extra 2 to strength or something like that?
Yeah, there's some it's like scales with your level.
Yeah.
Which
is bollocks, because what if you've been leveling this whole time, didn't even realise?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that all about? Oh, I don't know.
Oh, there's just so much wrong with 15.
There's a lot wrong, and I dare say that a lot of it came from our own hype in the community of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that's true.
I've seen a lot of people actually say that 15 is one of their favourite games of all time. I've been like, well, I'd love to know the list of your favourite games of all time then, if 15's in there. That's not going against people who have their own opinions. You can have your own opinion. But I'd love to know what you're comparing this to. Because for me...
There's nothing wrong. People say, oh, you're invalidating my opinion. There is nothing wrong if someone gives an opinion in asking why they have it.
If you can back that up and give me like if you can convince me to validate your opinion in a way that, like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, I respect that. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you turn around and go, because it is, I'm not, well, I guess this is the end of the conversation then, isn't it? Great. Yeah. We can't have a civilized conversation
I think
about
if two people have an opinion, the best thing to do with an opinion is discuss it. Otherwise, why have an opinion?
True. It is true. I guess I also heard one of the things was that people crying at the ending.
Yeah, I heard people thought the ending was amazing. I've seen a lot of that floating around. I think that ending completely ruined the entire game experience for me.
I pulled this face of like disbelief, anger, and almost like a betrayal, according to my girlfriend when I finished it. She was laying next to me at the time, and I had never once felt like I just wasted my life playing a game.
Yeah.
I put the controller down and I literally went, what?
Yeah, I instantly picked my phone up, went straight into my WhatsApp Final Fantasy group and was just like, are you kidding me? That's the ending. I was like, why did I even play this game?
It's just...
I was hyped for that game.
The progress... So from what I can tell is that the progress was Noctis died and Light survived.
Yeah, Noctis sacrificed himself to get rid of all the daemons.
The daemons?
Daemon. Mad Daemon.
Oh my god.
America.
That film, right, is not that great.
No, it's not.
But I'd watch that 10 times over and then play 15 again.
Okay. I'm going to say something right now.
Go on then.
Final Fantasy 15 is inferior to Infinite Undiscovery. Don't at me.
Inferior?
Yeah, 15's worse than Infinite Undiscovery.
Sorry, yes. I got inferior and...
Both Square Enix games, but you can tell they cared a lot more about one than the other.
You're not wrong. I think Infinite Discovery is good.
Oh yeah, me too. I think it's one of...
We have to bear in mind as well, when people compare these games, one is on the 360, one is on the PS4. I am comparing 15 as if it's a PS4 game, not as if it was on the PS3 or PS2 or PS1. You're giving me a character that is... You've got a poster up on your fucking finger and it says, reclaim your throne on the poster.
Which you don't.
Which you don't. You get fucking stabbed on it.
You kill the dude who took your throne and then die. Yeah. So, who gets your throne exactly?
You reclaimed the king... If it says reclaim the world, I'd understand.
He didn't even knock up Luna, so there's no one in line to the throne.
No, there isn't.
And even if he did, her stomach got pretty shanked up.
It did, yeah. I did not leave anything to the imagination.
One thing I did like about episode Ignis was seeing that Ravus kind of does a 180.
Yeah.
And realises that Arden didn't really give a shit about Luna, and then he's suddenly on Ignis's side.
Ignis's story was the one that gave the alternate ending, wasn't it?
It gave one of the alternate endings, yeah.
Where Ignis wears the ring,
he sacrifices himself,
beats Arden, but he survives because Nock.
There's two, I think. Two endings.
Yeah, the one that is actually canon and one that is not. The one that isn't is the one I was going into.
I thought he died.
No, he doesn't. He survives. Just about survives because I think Nock prays for his survival or something to the king of Lucia, and they grant it as long as he goes into the Bahamut crystal.
Oh thing. No, it's not that he dies. That's what's different to the normal one. He gets to keep his sight. He restores his sight.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. Oh, whereas if in the actual ending, they take his eyes as payment for the power.
Yeah.
Like they
Noctis restores his sight back, doesn't he?
Yeah. In the alternate one.
And then in that, Ignis walks up to the throne. Who's sitting on the throne? Noctis. What is he doing? Oh, he's the king. This is how it should have ended.
That would have been, quite satisfying.
We could have even had a 15-2 or 15-3 as they hinted or said they were going to do.
Yeah, they said that there were going to be 3 games. I feel like now they're just doing this as a games as a service, and then they're just going to.
Were they like, or did they actually think 3 games? But what we actually mean is a movie and an anime.
They might have meant that.
And a game.
Yeah. No, they could have learnt from 7.
Yeah, Crisis Core and all that.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, it's just.
I would play Crisis Core again, and I love Crisis Core.
I'd play Crisis Core right now. I've got it actually in the other room.
Okay, someone said to me, right, okay, let me put this in perspective of Final Fantasy 15. If someone said to me, you could have 15 exactly how it was meant to be under Tetsuya Nomura, exactly the way Versus 13 was meant to be, story and all.
Yep.
Or a Crisis Core HD remake, or remaster or whatever, I would take Crisis Core because I know what I'm getting.
You know it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoy Crisis Core.
Though,
I think it's great.
to be fair, looking at some of that original Versus 13 like gameplay,
yeah,
it looked fucking.
Okay, let's not say
it looked great.
Let's not get. Okay, let's not say that then. Let's say that if you could, if the direction didn't change at the last moment, as we mentioned,
Yeah.
and we got a kind of coherent story, I would still pick.
Well, I feel like the story would have been very different. Like,
Crisis Core.
I don't know. I really don't know how it would have been.
And we'll never know.
Do you know
That's the
what I
thing.
really want?
What?
Dirge Cerberus HD. Unpopular opinion of the day. People don't like that game. I think it's great. I will give it one downside.
What, the save system?
Yeah, the save fucking system. I got the best gun in the game, which is the toy gun. You got to level it up, but the save system messes the fuck up when you try and jump back in missions to get more money.
Yeah.
So what the fuck is that about?
No, I enjoyed.
It's a good story and fun
I enjoyed
gameplay.
Dirge a lot. The story was good.
I would love if they made it a proper third-person shooter without that auto-aim inside the circle thing.
Yeah. Another thing I don't understand is when people complain that it's fan servicing. I'm
What
like,
do you mean?
that's the point.
It's like everyone loves Vincent.
No, like when people go, oh, well, that story was a bit fan service, wasn't it? It's like, isn't that the fucking point?
Well,
Isn't the
it
point
was-
of a story to make the
can't
fans
remember.
happy?
What's his name again?
Which one?
Blue guy with the blue lines on his face.
Oh,
and
the one that
he's-
turns into a behemoth at one point.
Yes.
I don't remember his name, but I know who you're on about. He smacks up Shulk's sister or something.
Yeah. Shalua.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's annoying me.
Yeah.
Well, I remember Vice.
Hmm.
Uh,
Does she have like
obviously Hojo's in it as well.
Yeah, Hojo was a big thing about this game, which I enjoyed as well.
Yeah.
I
Well,
enjoy-
obviously Hojo created Vincent.
This game
It's so
gave
messed
us...
up. Hojo fucked Vincent's genetics up, banged his girl, and created Sephiroth.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, he did.
Hojo, man, you're a dick.
Fucking hell, he did as well. Oh, moly.
Yeah. He's Sephiroth's dad,
Ugh.
and Lucrezia is
Lucrezia.
the mum. Because secret cutscene in FF7. You go to Lucrezia's cave in Disc 2 and then return in Disc 3, but you have to have gone in Disc 2. Return in Disc 3 and Lucrezia talks to Vincent and gives you level 4 limit and best weapon, death penalty and chaos.
Yep.
So fun fact for anybody looking to max FF7.
Mm.
In fact, I wouldn't mind doing a little like, not guide, but just talking fun facts about 7, because I know a lot about that game. It would be fun to talk
I remember you got you and a friend had a guide, and you knew more about about it than the guide did.
Yeah, it missed a lot out and didn't tell you a lot of stuff. But, you know, it was just one guy writing it, so can't blame him.
This is what I mean about Final Fantasy 15. We go on to other Final Fantasy games when we're talking about 15.
Yeah, I've got to say, it doesn't keep me very engaged.
Exactly.
I mean, I enjoyed episode Gladiolus.
Yeah.
Didn't really enjoy episode Prompto, to be honest. It felt really bland and samey.
It was weird. It was like, I enjoyed it, but
Snapchat. What was it called? Selfie? I don't know, I can't remember.
Snapshot or something like that, yeah. It was like you were snowmobiling everywhere and all that.
Yeah.
It was actually the first time you
Prompto
got
and
to control the
Aranea.
vehicle. Yeah.
Aranea.
Oh, Aranea. That was a character I'd have
I
loved if they actually like
They tried
expanded.
to flesh her out, but it was in a weird way. Like, you didn't learn about her past. I would love an episode Aranea that just goes into her past. I would actually pick that game.
Yeah, they
Like, I'd put that game back onto my console.
they'd hinted that a lot, like her backstory, like
Yeah.
throughout the whole game, and then never give us it.
No, and I'm pretty sure they haven't announced an episode Aranea. They've announced what? Episode
Luna.
Arden,
Yeah.
episode Luna Freya, and there's another thing they announced. But I can't remember what it is.
it needs to stop, and they need to accept their losses for me.
Yeah, I feel like they should move on to 16 and make it that thing, Agni's Revenge. That looked awesome.
Yeah.
That tech demo that they made.
I don't know what to say anymore about 15. I feel like I've said enough to warrant like me not liking this.
Yeah.
I don't. It was just a fucking disappointment.
Okay, this is what I'm going to say about it.
Okay,
The day I got it.
move on to positives after
I
you
just
say
want to
this.
say one thing.
Yeah.
When I first got it, I loved the game. I thought it was amazing. I loved the world. I thought it looked great. I thought it was fun to play. But that was quite short-lived. I said I enjoyed the game up until the end, my first playthrough, but thinking back, I actually stopped playing it when I got to about chapter 8 and left it for about 3-4 months.
Yeah.
And didn't even want to go back to it until I heard you need to see the ending. No one told me whether it was good or bad. They just told me you need to see the ending. So I grinded it out, stopped doing side quests, ran straight through the story, straight up to chapter 15.
I think that's what killed it for you. I remember you were like, "Oh, I'm doing every side quest." I was like, "Don't do that. You're not gonna do it."
There's a lot.
And you were like, "No, I'll do it," and you just never went back.
Yeah, pretty much. So there's that, and then I kind of just rushed through the game because I couldn't be asked to play it. And you know what? People say, yeah, okay, there's a lot of side quests. Maybe you shouldn't do them all. If I'm playing a game and I'm doing all the story up to a point, and then doing all the side quests, clearing everything up off the map, and then continuing the story, that's how I like to play.
Yeah.
If them side quests can't keep me engaged enough to enjoy doing them, then it's bad game design.
Obviously,
personally, it's bad game design. There's probably some people who enjoy it. And,
those side quests don't even add to the characters you're doing the side quest for.
No. It's like, oh, just the person I wanted to see. I need some more frogs for my science project at school.
It's
help me out.
Ridiculous. It goes back to what you mentioned earlier about how 9 we'd expand the lore of 9 as we progress the story. None of this expanded the lore. All we got was some hunters club, and some jewels, and some random massive hawk thing that flew around it like a griffin. There was It was fucking massive.
Okay.
Do you want to move on to positives now?
Let's go on to positives. So number 1, Yoko fucking Shimomura. Pretty much the number 1 biggest positive of this whole game. The soundtrack. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like, it doesn't matter what my opinion on this game is, I can listen to that soundtrack on repeat. It is amazing.
It's a soundtrack that I love, but I also, every time I hear it, I get a bit of teary-eyed because I'm like, you could have been good.
Yeah.
Could have been good.
I mean, for anyone who hasn't heard it or doesn't know what 15 is or hasn't played it or whatever, it's getting thundery for 1. 2, go to YouTube and listen to Apocalypsis Aquarius
or Noctis, either one.
I prefer Aquarius, but they're all pretty good, to be fair. And then you've got, oh man, what's that song called?
The open world song. I don't know what it's called, but
I used to know. It's fucking gone out my head now. I need to think about it. But yeah, so the soundtrack is number 1 biggest positive of the game. Second is ignoring the fact that it's a bad point to need to watch the movie and the anime to really feel the characters.
Yeah.
I feel like if you do that, it really does amplify Noctis and Prompto's friendship. Like, it feels more than just a friendship.
I'm sorry, I know we're on positives, but can I just say this to you? You say to someone, before you play your £200 game, watch the movie and the anime first. They're not going to do that because they've just spent £200.
Well, I'd already watched the anime twice before.
I get that you did that, but if you say to someone who didn't have that, like...
Well, they put it all on YouTube for free, so it's not like you had to pay.
Not everyone uses YouTube.
Yeah, well...
Not everyone follows news like we do.
No, of course.
So they might not have even known that. So they're not going to put in, like, Kingsglaive or...
I feel like if they didn't know the anime existed, they probably wouldn't know that existed, considering it's said in the listing when you buy it.
Not unless they're on the Square store every day. You know what I mean?
What?
You just go on the Square store?
Yeah, I know, but it says in the listing for that collector's edition, it said includes the anime.
That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is they have no way to... Even if they had a way to watch the anime or Kingsglaive, they get the game, and you really think they're going to get the game and then go, but first I'll watch this?
Yeah, I know. I mean, for me, the reason I watched it twice is because my game took so long to come from Square on the day of release. I didn't get my game till about 3 p.m.
Yeah.
And I booked the day off to like play it all day and pretty much lost all that time.
I remember, yeah.
I only gained about 2 hours and used a whole day of holiday for it. But
yeah.
yeah, so I just watched the whole anime on YouTube. I woke up, watched Kingsglaive, watched the anime. The game still wasn't here. And I was like, my God, please hurry up. But yeah, so my positive was, if you do go out your way to watch the anime and Kingsglaive, you can really feel the whole Band of Brothers vibe between the 4 guys, and it does give it like a bit of an emotional connection, which I do like. But then at the same time, FF9, the relationship between Zidane and Vivi, both being created beings, and not really knowing where they are in life. I mean, Zidane has this bit of a spiral out of control at one point. He just starts drinking and leaves Dagger and all that behind. He tries to join Tantalus again on disc 3.
Yeah.
In Alexandria. So he has his issues. Vivi's having his throughout the whole game.
Zidane and Blanc, another one. Like
Zidane and Blanc, yeah, you can tell how close they are.
They've gone through shit.
Yeah, they've gone through some shit.
They will go through hell for each other. It shows, especially in
Blanc acts like he doesn't care, and then he
in
gets
that CGI
petrified with the forest just to help Zidane.
Yeah.
Or Zidane.
Is that an FMV or is it? It's FMV, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I said CGI. I wanted to make it.
Yeah,
clearer.
it's FMV. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm trying my hardest, and I'm coming up pretty short. Okay. Admittedly, it's quite easy, and you don't really have to do much, but it's flashy and looks fucking awesome. The Leviathan fight.
I was going to say, you mentioned the Leviathan fight.
Yeah, Leviathan is a great part of the game. It looks great. It shows you how flashy and fun the battles can be. And yeah, I honestly believe that is the end of my good points.
Can I be devil's advocate to the Leviathan fight?
Yeah, of course.
Song, amazing. Boss fight for about the first minute. Yeah, great boss fight.
See,
until you figure out you can just hold circle and beat the boss.
Oh yeah, well, you can, but it takes a bit longer because you keep falling when he breaks what you're on.
But this is what I mean.
Up until the point where you get Armature, then you can just hold circle and it teleports around and kills the shit out of him.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what I mean. Like I said, it is easy, but it's flashy and enjoyable to watch. So I don't mind as much in that fight.
But then that should just be a cutscene.
Yeah, I know, I agree. I completely agree.
It's unbelievable that I saw people actually say that.
That's what I mean. Like, aside from the music, every good point can also be considered a down point.
Yeah.
The music is just amazing, so that's just
oh yeah, I know.
But, yeah.
There's also the whole like Gladiolus' sister that is never really flushed out.
I really like Iris, so I actually prefer her to Luna Freya.
So do I. I think her and Noctis would be great together. But guess what?
That's why I always do the side quest to go on the date.
Doesn't flush it out too much other than that date.
No, you don't really find too much out about Iris. But then once again, yet another thing, you do in the anime.
Yeah, you do.
So if you don't watch the anime, you don't know about Iris. You don't know about Gladiolus and why him and Noctis are close. You don't know why him and Ignis are close. You literally don't know the beginning of anything.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't do in-game flashbacks to kind of tell you about it or why.
Nope.
Watch the anime or you don't know anything about it. So yeah, that's pretty much my views on 15. There's a couple of good points, mostly bad points.
See, I've been sat here while listening to your good points. Trying to think positives.
What your good points would be, other than music.
And I'm honestly drawing a blank. I did go back to the game to play the episodes because I had an urge, I guess you could say, to play it. I wanted to enjoy this game. In my mind, I was like, no, come on, I've got to enjoy this. This game's been years in the making.
Yeah.
And I didn't. And I still don't. Fishing is just stupid.
I dislike
Survival is like walking around endlessly to get it or some bullshit.
I don't think it is, because sometimes I will do like a couple of days of just running around fighting and it doesn't even go up.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't understand how you level survival.
The photography thing with Prompto.
Everyone's got level 10 on
it's
photography.
Just
that's the easiest
fucking like, shut up, Prompto.
Yeah.
For a while I hated Prompto.
I think Gladio's survival might be resting at campsites and doing training.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I'm not going to find out. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Agreed.
I still, people say, oh, play Comrades, and I'm like, well,
I have to admit,
I feel like if you like the game, like the battle system, then yeah, sure, play Comrades.
No,
I think the
I
battle
did
system,
actually play it, and it is quite good.
but I think the battle system in 15 in general is shite.
I think it's bland, but it's not the worst battle system I've ever played.
What would you say your worst is? Other than 358, I'm taking it off the list.
The Last Remnant.
Ah, damn, he's got me.
Because to be honest, I just thought it was really weird that it's like it's advantage based. So like you're on one side, they're on the other, and you're like doing a tug of war between who holds the advantage in the battle.
Yeah.
It's really weird. But yeah, I never really got used to
You
that.
got me, to be fair. I didn't expect you to be so quick on the bloody spot, to be honest. Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say, 15 is, what is it? What is 15?
Elemental your sense.
It is a game that, this is what I was going to say. I remember now. Thank you, brain. It is a game that if it did not have Final Fantasy in its name, everyone would call it shit. If it did not have
I
Final
still feel
Fantasy,
like it would have a following because of its production value.
okay.
Like, people will like a game purely based on what it looks like, which is becoming a problem.
If it was a game, as you said, if it was games of service, that wasn't called Final Fantasy 15. It was called like, The Road to Nibelheim was a bollock name from Square Enix. They'd come up with something better.
Niflheim Raiders.
Yeah, something like that. It would not have the following it had today. It would
agreed.
it would be shat on to no end by people saying, well, what was the point of this?
Yeah.
And it's just
Same with most games, they slap a title on to give it that kind of initial sales because everyone's interested.
Yeah.
As you said, I don't think it would have been as popular. I think it might have had a following purely for looks because, like I said,
No Man's Sky original had a following, like before Next.
Yeah, exactly.
So everything has a following. What I'm trying to say is we wouldn't be even discussing this if it wasn't called Final Fantasy 15, obviously.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it wouldn't be a game that we'd be like, we have to talk about it.
Yeah. But I mean, like I said, I feel like it's a problem that games have a following based on graphics because it makes people push the story to the side and just focus on making a game look pretty.
Yeah.
And that's not what gaming is.
That was a problem.
Some of the best games that I've ever played have bad graphics. It's not a problem. As long as your story is good and your gameplay is solid and fun, it doesn't matter what it looks like.
Yeah, you know.
Just fix your shit, gaming industry. Stop going for the sparkle.
The sparkly stuff.
Yeah.
The 4K.
Hey, I'm happy I paid for a TV. Make all the games 4K, but even the 2D ones, just make them really high res, not blurry, not shit.
We need
Just
to
make them sharp, high res. 2D's fine.
hit a stage where we can have good graphics but also good frame rates, because this is the issue.
Yeah. People need to stop pushing their graphics to a point where a game can't render things fast enough because of the graphics.
Yeah.
There's only so many polygons you can have on the screen at once. Just stop using more than you need. Please. But yeah, I think... Do you have any more to add about 15?
I've already gave my out of 10. And I've
Have you?
yeah, 5. More leaning towards a 4 than a 6.
I'm going to give it a 6. But that's purely because I actually finished it. And if I really hated it that much, I wouldn't have. So...
I finished
feel
it
like-
hoping the ending would suffice me.
No.
I was hoping it would be gripping, like I'd be brought back and I'd be like, yes, okay, I get this now.
Yeah, I gotta say 6, and that's probably been a bit generous, but for me, that's what I would give it.
But it is just 4 boys going across the country on a bro trip,
Yeah, it's just a bro trip.
and shit happens because he's a king.
Yeah, basically. He doesn't want to be a king, but tough shit. That's the card you've been dealt. Not this time to play a hand.
But no one's going to tell you the hand.
No.
Not your dad and not your girlfriend.
Well, they'll try.
No, they won't.
Try then
Fuck
die.
'em.
Well, he might. She might be a bit cold by now. That's why I got
we are not diving down the rabbit hole.
For your thighs. No.
Oh, God.
I know it's not your time. But bye-bye.
Well, then. I hope I didn't annoy anyone with what I thought about this game.
No need to take offence to it. If anybody disagrees and has an opinion that they think this was the best game of the past decade, tell us why.
Anything you heard me complain about, please just write a comment. Tell me why you think I was wrong, or my opinion isn't as, like, I don't know, I want to say validated, but like my opinion could be changed easily. And if it's a good point, I will take it in and reconsider. But until then, this game is a 4.8 out of 10.
It just lost 0.2.
I did say it was leaning from 5 to 4.
It's having a wobble.
Yeah, it is a bit.
Right then, so this has been our Final Fantasy 15 discussion. Let us know if you have any ideas on what else you want us to talk about in future episodes. And with that, peace out.
That's it!
I've come up with a new recipe.